Hey guys, what's going on? Mount Rushmore coming back to you with another mock draft, and today we're going to be doing a full mock draft on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that has the very first pick of the 2021 draft. So let's go ahead and do a draft on the Jaguars. So, 7 rounder, they have a lot of picks, I will tell you that. But however, they don't have picks in round 3 or round 6. So I'm just warning you guys there, but I will tell you during those rounds. So no biggie. And they have a lot of picks around those rounds, so I think they should be fine. But before we start this draft, I just want to say pause the video, click out of the full screen, press that subscribe button, click the like button, and we'll get started. Here we go. So, round 1, pick 1. Think how it must feel to have the ability to pick anyone in the draft here at this point. That must be one of the best feelings ever for the new season. It must be a feeling of good luck. So, I'm gonna pick an offensive lineman. No, I'm just kidding. I swear. I'm just kidding. So, I'm actually gonna take Trevor Lawrence. Most likely the Jaguars are going to take them. 99% chance they're going to take him for sure. And he is such a great quarterback. He is the best quarterback in this draft class. And in 3 years with Clemson, he had 10,098 passing yards at a 66.6% completion rate and 90 passing touchdowns. He also had 231 rushing attempts for 943 yards and 18 rushing touchdowns. So, I would describe Trevor Lawrence as basically a perfect quarterback. He's tall. He's a smart guy. He has great arm talent. He can make plays with his legs. And he can kind of make plays that aren't there, if you know what I'm saying. He can manipulate defenses to make plays that he wants. So I am going to pick Trevor Lawrence, and I think this is a great way to start a complete rebuild at the offense quarterback position. Their head coach Urban Meyer has stated many times publicly that they're going to go into a full rebuild mode, and what better person to take first in the draft than Trevor Lawrence of Clemson. Round 1, pick 25, the second pick for the Jaguars. Let's take an offensive tackle here. Here I'm going to take Samuel Cosmi of Texas. He is 6'7" and stands at 300 pounds. So he's a pretty big guy. He's a great tackle. He has great footwork, hands, and protection ability. And he also has a great leadership ability to guide the offensive line of Jacksonville. So I'm going to take him here. I think the Jaguars can't miss out on this guy, as he is probably the best offensive tackle for their second pick. All right, round 2, pick 33. Let's look at some tight ends. How do you guys feel about that? And here, I'm going to take Pat Freiermuth of Penn State. In 3 years with Penn State, he had 92 receptions for 1,185 yards and 16 touchdowns. So, I think he is one of the top 3 tight ends of this draft. He's a great guy, great speed, great size. He uses his abilities to his advantage, and he just has a lot of talent. He does need a little grooming though, but those are coachable flaws. Jacksonville can for sure fix that. So I'm gonna take Pat Freiermuth right here. And yes, they do have Tyler Eifert, but I think they need another tight end here who is really good at catching and blocking, and Freiermuth is the way to go right there. Here we go. Round 2, pick 45. let's look at some wide receivers. And here, I'm actually going to take Elijah Moore of Ole Miss. And in 3 years with Ole Miss, he had 189 receptions for 2,441 yards and 16 touchdowns. But his resume doesn't stop there. He also had 21 rushing attempts for 71 yards and 3.4 yards per carry. So, Elijah Moore is a great wide receiver. He's speedy, he can get in the open, and he can make huge plays with his hands and his legs. So, I think he would, along with Pat Frymouth, I think those two would kind of ease Trevor Lawrence into the starting quarterback job because it's always difficult for a rookie quarterback to kind of get into the starting quarterback job. But I think Elijah Moore and Pat Frymouth would really help him here. So I'm going to take him here at pick 45. Jacksonville fans, our next pick is round 2, pick 65. It's the last pick of round 2, which makes 3 picks in round 2. I told you guys, Jacksonville has a lot of picks. So here I'm going to take an edge rusher. I'm going to take Carlos Basham Jr. of Wake Forest. In 4 years with Wake Forest, he had 173 tackles, 20 and a half sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. So he's a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's fast for an edge rusher. And he is a living nightmare for quarterbacks, opposing quarterbacks. So I think that's a great way to kind of rebuild the defensive line. They already started the defensive line rebuild by signing Malcolm Brown from the Saints. They traded for him. And I think Carlos Basham is a great way to add to the edge rusher part of the defensive line. So I am going to take him right here at pick 65. He is a great player, and I just think Jacksonville can't miss out on him. All right, Jacksonville fans, like I said, it's round 3. No picks here, unfortunately, but that gives us a lot of time to... I guess it doesn't because pick 106 is here right now. So here, I am going to take a running back. So, for the running backs here, I'm going to take Trey Sermon of Ohio State. Because they need a running back because they really haven't found that explosive element since Leonard Fournette left. And by the way, he did great with the Buccaneers. But I think they need a guy like Trey Sermon here. And to prove how good he is, I'm going to read the stats. 4 years with Ohio State. He had 455 attempts rushing and 2,946 yards and 26 rushing touchdowns. But he also had 48 receptions for 486 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. So, I guess you could call him a receiving back. I mean, the 3 touchdowns, that's okay, but he adds the dual threat ability, and he's fast, he's powerful, and I just think he's a great runner. So, Jacksonville needs a guy like him to, like I said earlier, they need a guy to ease Trevor Lawrence into his job as the starting quarterback. So, I think Trey Sermon is the way to go there. All right, round 4, pick 130. Let's take a defensive back, a cornerback, the first defensive player, or sorry, no, not the first defensive player. I forgot about Carlos Basham, but the first defensive back of the first secondary player of this draft. So here I'm going to take Ambry Thomas of Michigan. In 3 years with Michigan, he had 54 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 4 interceptions. So I'm going to draft him here, no doubt. He is a great player, and the Jacksonville Jaguars should take him here without a doubt. He is a great cornerback, and he can kind of help rebuild their secondary here. Here we are, round 5, pick 145. The last pick kind of leads us into here. Let's take a safety. Let us take a safety. And here, I'm probably going to look at Caden Stearns of Texas. In 3 years with Texas, he had 173 total tackles, 2 sacks, and 5 interceptions. So he's a very versatile safety. He can rush the passer and cover. He can play zone coverage, man coverage, whatever you ask him. And I think he's a great safety to take here at round 5. So I'm going to take him. And I just think that Jacksonville needs to take him here. There is no way they can't take him. And he's like Ambry Thomas, he's just a great way to bolster the secondary. But one thing Jacksonville actually needs to bolster is their offensive line. And we started doing that by taking Samuel Cosmi at pick 25. But I think round 5 pick 170 should be used on an interior offensive lineman. Let's take an interior offensive lineman. And that guy's name is none other than Jack Anderson of Texas Tech. He is such a great interior offensive lineman. Yeah, it looks like he's coming pretty late in the draft, but trust me, he is a great offensive lineman. He opens up running lanes, he protects his quarterback, and like Samuel Cosmi, he's going to be a great security blanket. So I'm going to take Jack Anderson here, and I just think he's a great way to bolster the offensive line. So, it's round 6 right now. We don't have any picks here, unfortunately, but it's okay. We have 2 picks in round 7, so that kind of makes up for it. And round 7 is starting pretty soon. So here, I was actually thinking who to get. Because it's round 7. This is the last round. I usually think of round 7 as a way to bolster or add depth to any of your positions. So I think they need to add depth to their wide receiver position, actually, here. And here, that's why I'm going to keep going down and take Isaiah McCoy of Kent State. And in 3 years with Kent State, he had 124 receptions for 1,748 yards and 16 touchdowns. So he is a great wide receiver to take in round 7. He's explosive, and he adds depth to their wide receiver room. So I'm going to take him here, and I think it's a great way to add weapons for Trevor Lawrence. Guys, our next pick is round 7, pick 248. Here it is now. It's the last pick of the draft. Let's go out with a bang. Let's take a tight end. Let's take a tight end here. And yeah, I took Pat Freiermuth. They already have Tyler Eifert, but I think they need another tight end. And I think here they probably need to take Jack Stoll of Nebraska. This guy. And he is a great tight end. He's fast. He has hands. And I just think he's a great way to end the draft. And he is really good at blocking, which can open up running lanes and make Jacksonville a feared running team. So Jack Stoll is the way to go for the last pick of the draft. And I just think Jacksonville needs to take him. It's a great way to end the draft. So, if you're new to my NFL mock drafts, I usually go over the picks once I'm done drafting. So if you missed anything, you don't have to go back. You can just keep watching, and I'll go over the picks at the end. Alright, pick 1, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. Pick 25, Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle, Texas. Pick 33, Pat Freiermuth, tight end, Penn State. Pick 45, Elijah Moore, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Pick 65, Carlos Basham Jr., edge rusher, Wake Forest. Pick 106, Trey Sermon, running back, Ohio State. Pick 130, Ambry Thomas, cornerback, Michigan. Pick 145, Caden Stearns, safety, Texas. Pick 170, Jack Anderson, interior offensive lineman, Texas Tech. And last but not least, pick 227. Sorry. No, that is not the last pick. Pick 227, Isaiah McCoy, wide receiver, Kent State. And now, last but not least, pick 248, Jack Stoll, tight end, Nebraska. So, guys, thanks for watching. Jaguars fans, hope you liked the video. Just leave any comments, subscribe, like. If you want me to do a specific team, just leave it in the comment section. I usually leave a note in there about it, so you can just leave it under that comment. And hope you liked the video. If you didn't hear me before, just like, subscribe. And Jacksonville fans, here's to the 2021 mock draft that you guys deserve. So, see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.